All right, hello, you guys. Today is Friday, February the 17th. Um, I'm going to share with you guys my bioptic driving testing experience. And it's something that's very interesting. When I first heard about bioptic lens, I'm thinking, maybe it's like a contact lens or something that you put into your eye and it just magnifies things. But after actually doing my research, it's like a it's like binoculars mounted on top of your eyeglasses. But bioptic lenses are there to help the visually impaired maintain their license in order for them to drive in the daytime and or at night. And of course, this was something that I needed because I experienced some deterioration when it comes to my eyes, and it just pretty much wasn't up to code for Ohio's BMV in order for me to pass my license. And that's interesting. In Florida, their vision requirement is really actually like low to where it's like I don't know why. Like I know there's a lot of elderly people that lives in Florida. Maybe that's because that's the reason why, but I'm not sure. So the journey when it came to getting a bioptic lens was a interesting journey. So I had to get with the Ohio Department of Disability, something like that. And my eye doctor referred me to them because I shared my concern, my issue, and they referred me to them. Got to them, sat down, and they were just like, okay, we're going to help you get where it is that you need to go. So that happened. And I talked to them, I shared everything, talked about work, life, school, everything. And then I had to go get an eye test, which pretty much determines if I qualify to even get a bioptic lens. So I had that, and you know, looking through it, and then I had to read the eye chart. The eye doctor was saying, see, if with you being able to get low to that line with the bioptic lens, like that's if you had 20/20, that's how it would be. And it's just like, oh wow. Like I know everybody, especially those who've been 20/20 before, like you just wish they can just go back. But not everyone can. Even those, well, there was one person, she was visually impaired her entire life. And what they say, she had like a stroke, and it is something to where now she's not visually impaired. I mean, the way things happen and work, it's just, I find it interesting. Anyways, moving forward. So, I got my eyes checked and everything worked out. And we test out the bioptic lens, like different styles, sizes, and they are like really big. And but I got lucky because they had just came out with another one, which is a little smaller, but it's still big. And I'm just like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So did all that, and you can only use a certain pair of eyeglasses with the bioptic lens because it's mounted onto your glasses. Not you just can't take it off and mount it onto another pair of glasses. Um, but the one thing that shocked me was how much everything cost, especially the bioptic lens. Like that was over $2,000, and it's just like a piece of plastic, It's just I just find that just crazy, and it's like I want to know how much they're profiting off of this. Like they done, it's like they done marked the damn price up so high. But the Ohio Department of for Disability, they took care of everything, and I right there was shocked because I'm thinking like, damn. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to pay for the bioptic lens, the driving test, and the driving test was $100. What was it, an hour? $100 an hour, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, do they honestly think that I have money like this? But the lovely people, they took care of everything, and that was just like, it was amazing. It felt good. Um, so I got the fitting and everything like that, and then they said that when it comes to the bioptic driving tests, those are only done during the winter. They say it's because it's the shortest winter. It's something I have no idea. They only do it in the winter, and they tell me that the waiting list was going to take a very long time, not unless someone cancels. So I'm thinking like, damn, it's going to take a long ass time for me to like get all of this. But somebody canceled. I'm just like, look at the odds of this. Like somebody canceled. So when they called me, I'm just like, I don't care. You schedule me. Like I don't want anything. Like no, you schedule me, and then I'll figure out my work schedule around that. So they scheduled me, and you know, up to when I had to take my test, I couldn't get any citations. I couldn't get into any accidents or anything. If I did, I would have to wait another year in order to get it, which I find it crazy, but I'm just like, okay, I understand. So I took off the whole week once we had got the dates figured out. And I had 2 days to train with Ben, who was a very nice guy. He's been showing people how to drive for so long. And even though I've been driving for over 5 years, well, since I was 19, day and night, I've learned so much. And it's just like, wow, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. But so we had the test, and it was done out in Hilliard, Ohio. And I've never drove through or around, however you want to say it, a roundabout. And my first day driving around a roundabout, it was confusing because I'm just like, what? Like this doesn't make sense. Like, why? I was so against it. I'm just like, why would they do this? Like, why would they just slap a big ass circle of concrete like in the middle of a four-way street, like that doesn't with no stop signs. I'm just like, this is asking for somebody to die. But it makes sense. It keeps the traffic flowing. So day two, I was able to knock that out. You just all they had to do was tell me if they wanted to go straight or if they wanted to go left, and then I was able to figure it out. And then my maneuverability part, I was nervous about that because when I was 19 and I went to go take my license, all the lady said to me was drive through the cones and make a left. So I drove through the cones, made a left, and I kept going. But I was supposed to, drive, go, head to the left, and reverse, and boom. But that didn't happen. But I still was able to pass and stuff like that. But they say like if you don't pass your maneuverability part, you fail the test. So that was weird. So day one and day two, I was training with Ben. And then day three was the actual test day with the people at the BMV. And there's somebody sitting in the passenger seat as well as someone sitting in the back seat to listen to you. So what they do is they drive you around first. Now had already showed me this in these 2 days. He drove the route that we were going to take, got on the freeway, and everything like that. So they drive you around first, where you have to call out all the street signs. And that right there is interesting. You have to call out pedestrians, you have to call out fire stations, you have to pretty much call out everything. And I was nervous because the whole time I'm thinking like, damn, like so I'm gonna have to drive and then call these fucking signs out. Like that's gonna be hard. But you don't have to call out the signs while you're driving. You just need to know, especially the speed limit and the sign. You need to just make sure that you're nodding your head, looking through the telescope, and like seeing like, okay, the speed limit is 35. So the most that I can do is 34. I mean, 30. The speed limit is 35. The most that I can do is 39, and the least that they want me to do is 31. Um, so you're gonna be calling out all these signs and pedestrians. That's the first time, and then they take you back, and then they put you in the student driving car to where you're in the driver's seat and somebody else is in the passenger seat, and then you do the maneuverability part, and then you drive. The whole thing is you just have to make sure that my thing is don't go too slow, don't go too fast. Always don't just, even if you do drive at night, don't just drive like they want to see you looking through your telescope, if that makes sense. Even if you know what the hell that light is or if you know that sign, they want to actually see you looking through that telescope. But don't drive looking through the telescope because that's just not going to work out. Um, and they might fail you. So I did all that, and on our way back, like the light was green. I'm approaching it, going the speed limit, and then boom, yellow. You know, as soon as it hit yellow, red is right behind it, like 1.2 seconds. So I had slammed on my brakes, not like right away, but I had like pressed a little hard on them. That way I don't run this light because I'm just like, because they tell you, the instructor, the one that's sitting in the passenger seat, if they have to grab the steering wheel or hit the brake at any time, it's a no-no. They're gonna tell you to let's go back home. So that didn't that didn't happen. So we got there, but I was nervous. I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna fail because I didn't hit my brakes so hard. I get in there, I tell Ben, because Ben was waiting in the BMV. Now this happened late because they couldn't start until 6:38 as soon as it got dark. So Ben's sitting in the BMV the whole time, and I go back and I tell him like, Ben, I didn't hit my brakes hard. Well, hit his brakes hard. Like I don't know, like, because what they do is like, and I don't know why they do that, but I understand. When they get done, they go in and they go into this room, and I guess because it's the person in the passenger seat and the person that's in the back seat who takes the notes and stuff like that. They go in the room and discuss if you yay or nay. But the first person that was already there before me, they was in that room for a second, for a minute or two, and I was just like, Julian, like I don't know, bro. Did you like what happened? Did you do anything? And then he was just like, well, one of the stops I couldn't tell if I hit the brake or if she hit the brake. She didn't say anything, and I'm just like, man, because this was his second time doing the test. Then they came out 10 minutes later, and they were just like, well, Julian, you didn't go the speed limit and stuff like that. But they were just messing with him. He ended up passing, which was really good. Um, and then when it came to me, when we went in, they didn't even really go in the room. Like they went in there, but they didn't shut the door like they did with Julian or anything like that. I think they was probably weren't ready to go. I'm not sure, or maybe because I did everything right. Maybe that's what it was. But I passed it. They give you this like certificate, and it states on there what you passed and what you're eligible for. And then the next day, like I thought they were going to be able to update my license then, but they weren't. because that's just the exam station. You have to go to the license station. So the next morning, woke up, drove all the way out to the license station, getting on the paper, told them that I need to update my license to remove a restriction off of it because I was on daytime only. Um, and they did that, and it just felt good. It's just I'm happy that it's stuff like services like this, like there's tools and gadgets and shit like that's out there that you can use in order to make life easier for you, for yourself. So for anybody who, excuse me, has to get bioptic lens and they have to do the tests and stuff like that, you will be fine. Just make sure you take your time, listen to the instructor. Like the times that you're riding passenger, like really look at those signs. Make sure you call pedestrians on the right. If a car traffic is holding on the right or the left, make sure you say traffic held on the left. If the car in front of you have their brake light on, brake light off, red light, still red, green light, green going through, one way or straight or right only, like stay to the right, stay to the left. Like there's so many signs that you need to know and understand, and make sure you call out. The speed limit, make sure you call that out and stuff like that. Now, I was in the suburbs, so I live in the city. Now, in the city, there's not that many street signs, but in the suburbs, they have sign after sign after sign after sign. It's like it was like torture, like it was a punishment or something. But hopefully, boom, 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 you get it, and everything works out. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Alrighty.